Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to those of you that are joining in person and those that might be listening to the recording afterwards. Welcome to everybody. This is BPESA's Member Showcase, a series that we are running during February and March. And just want to welcome everyone to this call. This is a service that BPESA offers its members for them to then describe to the industry the value proposition that they have to offer. We've got a number of companies on the call today. First off, we'll have Cristal Headsets that will kick off the proceedings, and they will be taking us through their products. That'll be followed by Work in Sync, a software as a service company. And then finally, we'll be handing over to T-Forge that will then be taking us through their offering. I'm just going to go off these slides and stop sharing. And I'll start then go over into introducing but before I do that, I've just got to get my desktop back, else I can't see what's going on. So with that, to get the proceedings going, I'd just like to hand over or just introduce you to Charles Starling, who's the Head of Business Development and the owner, or one of the owners of the companies that Charles is going to talk to us about today. Charles hails from the Western Cape, and specifically Cape Town, where he has been involved in numerous business ventures in support of the GBS and contact center markets in South Africa. And recently, he's also extended his focus to beyond the borders of the country. Charles co-owns Natri Brands that manufactures the Cristal range of headsets and the Ozone Plus sterilizing products. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Charles, and over to you, Charles.
Okay, great. Thanks, Neville, and hi, everybody. Yeah, that's great. So as Neville said, I'm one of the 4 owners at Cristal Headsets. We also make a range of various sterilizing equipment. So I'm actually going to try and not talk about headsets in my session now, but just to kind of just to wrap them and put them on the side. So we've basically got we're the only manufacturers of professional call center headsets in Africa. Our head office and our factories in Cape Town. We've been going for 25 years, and we supply headsets into some of the biggest BPOs in the country. But it's tough out there. As a South African company, we're up against like the Nikes and Coca-Colas of the headset world. So each month is a new challenge, but it's made us lean and robust and agile. And I think what we're best known for on the headset side of the business is that we've got a great quality product. We're really well known for our durability and our robustness. And because we're locally based, we really focus on our after-sales service. So our elevator pitch on the headsets are basically, look, we've got a locally made product. It's got 92% local content. We'll match anybody's quality. We'll take the blindfold Coke Pepsi test any day of the week. We last longer. We've got a 4 to 7 year lifespan, which is actually amazing. In our sector, headsets normally last 8 to 12 months, and ours are on average last 5 years. They're very robust. We have sort of less than 2%, 1.7% breakages on average, and basically it costs less. So that's our kind of elevator pitch on the headsets. But kind of being in this robust market, besides making us lean and agile, it's also forced us to be creative. Forced is probably the wrong word. It's enabled us to be creative. And so that's what I really wanted to talk about today very briefly, and highlight 5 sort of South African innovations that we've brought to the sector, why we develop them, and what they do. So yeah, I'm just going to touch on those 5. And they were all really born out of challenges that we saw our clients experiencing and us finding solutions where we could for those. So the first of the 5 had to do with the warranty. So typically, look, in some ways, headsets are like car tires, and they're critical to a call center, but they use a lot of them. And what we'd find is that headsets were lasting sort of 6 to 8 to 12 months in most call centers. Our headsets come with serial numbers engraved in them. So what I had noticed early on was that when headsets did come in for repair or refurbishment, they were often 4 years old or 5 years old or 6 years old. And so we were able to give the market a product that was going to last 5 to 6 years. And so we brought out a 4-year warranty. So this was kind of something very new to the market. Typically headsets got a 1 or 2 year warranty. And we were so confident of the quality, we came out with the 4-year warranty. And what it really does is our vision or mission there is to try and take headsets from being this disposable, untrackable piece of equipment that gets used and thrown away into something that lasts 4 years and you can track it. And the bigger clients, our big BPO clients are probably saving like 65% of their capex price for headsets by using the mechanism of this extended warranty. So that was the first thing, the extended warranty. It was something new for the market. So that led into our second innovation, which was a tracking platform. So all of our headsets come with serial numbers. We're manufacturing them here, so we can control the manufacturing process completely. So every headset gets a serial number engraved, laser engraved into the plastic underneath the ear cushion. And we actually have a database of every headset we've ever manufactured, who bought them, when they bought them. So this is very powerful because what I'd noticed, I could go for meetings with potential clients. I'd meet with a CFO on the 8th floor, and they would be very excited, saying this is fantastic. And then you'd kind of go down to the 4th floor to go and meet the IT department. And in every IT department, there were boxes of broken headsets in a corner or in a cupboard. And every meeting I went to, these boxes of headsets were there. And I could see, I remember being in a client, I remember looking at the boxes and going, wow, there's like 400 headsets there. There's 2 boxes of jumbled headsets. It's at least 400 headsets. I knew what they cost. They were like a couple of $1,000 each. And I thought, wow, if the CFO upstairs knew that there was 800,000 rands worth of like used headsets sitting in his IT office in boxes, he'd probably have a thrombosis. So we really try to come up with a solution that basically removed those boxes and allowed call centers to like very simply just track and have real-time data on how many headsets they have, where they are, how many they've got on each campaign. So we basically took that database that we had of all of our headsets that we'd ever made, and we evolved that over 3 or 4 years through various spreadsheet iterations until we actually spent some money one year and we developed a proper platform. And that's in its 3rd year now. So we've got an online tracking platform that when a client orders headsets, by the time they deliver to the client, that platform is already pre-populated with all of the headsets that they've ordered, their serial numbers, and a whole lot of data about those headsets. So what it means for a call center is basically there's when the headsets arrive, you get login credentials, it's all secure, you can log in, and the headsets are all listed on there. And basically you can click on a headset on the system, you can allocate it to an agent, you can fill their details in on the platform. It takes less than 60 seconds to allocate it to an agent. And it really helps do 2 things. One, it helps you save a lot, because I've noticed that, look, as a factory, I can tell you that when headsets come back from clients for repair, if they send out of every 100 headsets we receive for repair, I would say 98% have got no fault found. So the probability is high that in your call center, your boxes of repaired headsets may not have anything wrong with them anyway. But because there's no way of tracking those headsets, they end up in a box and they get thrown away and whatnot. So once you've got a tracking system and a headset's allocated to an agent, that headset can actually come in, get repaired, and go back to that specific agent. So it really reduces your wastage. You can have the exact amount of headsets that you need. You reduce on your procurement, and it gives you really great data. So clients of ours have got a centralized procurement platform that they can go onto whenever they need to place a new order. So they can log into our system, they can say, how many headsets have I got at this site? How many headsets have I got in this campaign? And if the teams are requesting more stock, they can actually see whether that's valid or not. So look, it's really great for clients. It's not really great for us, because what happens is clients are going to buy fewer headsets less often. They're going to last longer, and they're able to track it. But it's a really great solution to be able to offer people, and that's proved really popular for clients. So that was the sort of second innovation that we've been focusing on. And then the third innovation, I'll just pull up some slides so you can see what these look like. Give me 1 second. Sorry, should have done this more fluidly. So I'm going to skip through just to give you a visual view. So this is what the platform looks like. It works on, you can log on from any device at anywhere. You've got login credentials. It's easy to use, very simple, a very powerful tool. So the next innovation that we looked at was agent health and wellness. So when headsets come back into our factory for repair or refurbishment, we've done lab tests, and headsets particularly are riddled with millions of bacteria. So we've taken a cushion, we've cut it in half, we send half off, we sterilize half, we don't sterilize other half, we send it off to the laboratory, we get them back and do comparative tests. So look, the bottom line is headsets and a lot of the equipment on agent workstations are riddled with bacteria, and we needed an effective way to sterilize it. So we, probably about 15 years ago, started building our first ozone sterilizing cabinets. They were just for internal use. And over the last 5 years, we've evolved those so that they're more visually appealing and they're market ready. So essentially, we've got sterilizing cabinets. These particular ones that are on the presentation now are built around call center teams. So in that cabinet, you could fit 20 to 30 headsets at a time. But ozone's fantastic for sterilizing all tech equipment. It basically sterilizes it at a molecular level. It's like FDA certified. It's a legitimate sterilizing process. It's very safe and it's very simple. These cabinets they've got one press button. So basically you load it with some equipment, press a button that you can't actually even open the door while it's running. It's got a mag lock on it, and it runs a 15-minute cycle, and all your tech equipment inside is sterile, like completely sterile afterwards. So, so that's been really helpful in terms of agents getting sick, absenteeism, staff morale, productivity. So during COVID, is obviously predominantly spread through air. But people forget that 80% of kind of infections that you would normally get in a call center are surface spread. So I know the focus is on COVID, but 80% of what's going to make your agents absent or make your teams start infecting each other is surface spread, and that's like colds and flu, ear infection, chest infection, stomach bugs, where everyone kind of suddenly it runs through your team and everyone gets a runny tummy. So those are surface spread. So what we found is that the best combination is we've got two sterilizing solutions. We have these ozone cabinets, and these would be great for headsets, keyboards, smartphones, handsets, computer mice, everything. We'd normally run a weekly sterilizing cycle on that. So every team would sterilize their equipment once a week. It's 15 minutes, so they could do it during tea times, etc. And then we've also got UV sterilizing tunnels. So these have got UV lights. We've got top and bottom lights. So whatever you put through there gets a 360 degree sterilizing happening. And this runs a shorter cycle, so it's 30 seconds to run through on the conveyor belt. And it's surface sterilizers. So ozone will deep sterilize everywhere. UV will surface sterilize. So normally call centers would have a combination. They'll have a cabinet where they sterilize their 5 most high-risk devices every week. And your 5 most high-risk devices will be your headsets, your keyboard, your mouse, your lanyard with your electronic key on it, and probably face masks now during COVID. Those will all be really high risk. And these sterilizing tunnels are used at the entry to the campaign floors. And when agents walk into the campaign floor, they put their headset through it and their lanyard and key card if they're allowed cell phones. So basically, this is to help prevent bacteria and viruses entering into the workspace. The cabinets are for keeping your devices sterile and clean. So this has been our third innovation actually. And that's working really well. They're all in the market already, and we've got CapEx and OpEx models, so people can even rent these. I think for as little as probably like 2,000 Rand a month, you know. So it's really been a focus of ours, keeping work spaces healthy and encouraging employee wellness. We also assist our clients to drive their health and wellness internally. So clients of ours typically would have those ozone cabinets, the sterilizing tunnels. And just an example of other projects we do with them, we would offer them, these are each WhatsApp slides, and we would give these to a client. The client would give them to their team leaders, and their team leaders would share this with their team members, you know, like in a drip campaign once a week or twice a week, really just kind of driving home the reasoning behind keeping the call centers kind of healthy. And really it's around the agents seem to respond best to 2 messages. One is that don't take germs home with you from work. So within your call center, it's high risk. There's lots of people, there's shared spaces, there's elevators, there's canteens. So don't pick up something at work that you're going to take home and make your 5-year-old kid sick or your spouse sick. And also don't make your colleagues sick. So those seem to be the messages that work best. But yeah, my main point is we've got the equipment. We've helped our clients set up SOPs to make it work most effectively. And then we also interact with them and give them support in terms of actually running the process through their call center. And then the second last innovation that we've been focusing on in the last year or so is really making sure we're getting the narrative out around our impact sourcing. So we've got 92% local content. So 92 cents out of every Rand that clients spend with us is staying in the South African economy. It's not all coming to me, I promise you, but it gets spread more widely. So we've obviously got our assembly plant and factory here, but you know, we'll be using South African print companies to print our packaging, transport companies, some of our plastic parts, our molds are at plastics factories and they're punching out our parts. So basically, when someone buys something from us, like we've audited, so actually 92 cents of every Rand is staying in the country and getting spread sort of more widely through the South African economy. Our people, our assembly technicians are all obviously locals, in the case of our factory, they're all from previously disadvantaged backgrounds that we've trained up, and they are all of our assembly technicians. And then the last part of the impact sourcing is really around the planet and environmental sustainability. And in fact, that has been our last and final innovation that we've been working on most recently. We literally, once we knew that our products lasted 5 to 7 years, and typically even the best imported headsets in the world are lasting 6 or 8 to 12 months, maximum 2 years. It really was a big differentiator in terms of how long things last. So what we've done is we found an e-waste partner, and we really wanted to craft a final piece of our innovation that spoke to environmental sustainability. So what we've got, it actually, if I can sell a client a headset legitimately, what I know is when he buys one of our headsets, I'm saving 4 headsets from going to landfill. So if our headsets are lasting 5 years, and even if someone's headset's lasting 1 or 2 years, there's a really strong argument for the rate that we're saving in terms of environmental sustainability. So yeah, so that's really just the last piece. We've got a partner, and they work throughout South Africa, and we have an end of life solution. So when headsets do reach the end of life, they get destroyed in an ethical, environmental way. The local manufacturing really minimizes our international shipping, so it reduces our clients' carbon footprint. And we guarantee 100% repairs for the full 4-year warranty period. So really what we're trying to do is, it's a little bit counterintuitive. We're trying to make a product that lasts longer, that you're going to buy less of, and you're going to need to order less frequently, that you can repair and you can refurbish. So each of those innovations has been, let me just see if I've stopped sharing there. Is that off now? Hey, Neville? Yeah. So yeah, so those have really been not the fun part of the business, but it's been important for us to try and not be people that drop off boxes. We wanted to provide solutions for our clients and have partnerships that were built on trust. And yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Charles. No, thank you, Charles. That was very insightful, and great to see South African innovation at its best. So thank you for that. I'm just going to ask if there are any questions. If people can just pop them into the Q&A, we'll have a Q&A session at the end. And but without further ado, we'd like to move over to Manish Raj, who is the Vice President, Sales and New Initiatives at Work in Sync. Manish, in his current role, is responsible for scaling Work in Sync's SaaS business in India and in international markets. He has a passion for helping clients optimize, save, and manage their business as well, being quick and agile to adapt to his customer insights and expectations. He has first-hand experience in providing marketing solutions to clients in South Africa and has been active in the major cities of Cape Town, Durban, and Johannesburg. Manish, I think I first met you at the end of 2019 at the conference in Durban.
That's right.
So welcome to the call, Manish. I'm going to hand over to you. You're welcome to share whatever slides you have, and then take us through your interesting solution. Thanks, Manish. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Neville, and thank you for the introduction. Yes, we did meet during the GBS Durban in November 2019. And thank you, Charles, for your session. It was quite insightful. I didn't know that we could talk so much on headsets, but glad to know the initiative that you have taken and your company is doing. So I'm glad that I'm part of this discussion today, and being a member of BPESA for over now 3 years, it's been an incredible journey. Pandemic obviously has thrown a lot of things here and there, but overall, I during my trips to South Africa, I felt at home. It was never felt that I'm in a different country. So that's the kind of experiences I have had, and also the welcoming nature to our solutions that we have seen happening. We have two of the largest clients using our solution in Cape Town at this point in time. We have 2 other clients who have adopted our solution in Johannesburg for our new solution, Work in Sync. And what we are seeing is the kind of inquisitiveness to adopt digitalization or get digital in terms of the operations and performing the businesses in South Africa, and that's a good sign. So before I actually talk about the Work in Sync, I just wanted to run a quick video which will set the context of what I'm going to be talking about, and will also have some questions in your mind which I would be happy to answer later. But let me just quickly take you to a short video which will set the context for this session.
When you are ready to head back to the office, you should not be worried about sanitization at your desk, your parking spot, breaching office health safety policies, or simply switching between working from home and office. Well, here's a helping hand that could make your workplace flexible and safe. Say hello to Work in Sync, an app for all your hybrid workplace needs. Alex thrives on...
I'm sorry, are you all able to hear it and see the video? Neville, are you able to
we can hear it, but we can't see the...
Yeah, we can hear the video, but you haven't shared your desktop yet. So if you can maybe just share the desktop.
Place flexibility. He prefers splitting. You're ready to head back to the office? You should not be worried about sanitization at your desk, your parking spot, breaching office health safety policies, or simply switching between working from home and office. Well, here's a helping hand that could make your workplace flexible and safe. Say hello to Work in Sync, an app for all your hybrid workplace needs. Alex thrives on workplace flexibility. He prefers splitting time between working at home and the office. Using Work in Sync's employee preference tool, Alex sends in his preferences beforehand to his team manager regarding the days he wants to work from the office. As a project coordinator, Alex prefers sitting next to his teammates, so he accesses the interactive digital floor plan of his office to see where his team is sitting. With Work in Sync's desk booking feature, he can choose a desk and use the seat sanitization feature to check whether the desk has been sanitized. How easy is that? Work in Sync also comes integrated with Google Assistant, Alexa, and Siri. He can get things like desk booking and sorted out without using his phone, especially when he's driving. Hey Google, book desk on level 1 next to Sean for the whole of next week.
Desk booked for the whole of next week.
Once that's done, he uses Work in Sync's contactless access management to scan his QR code-based DigiPass. And boom, he can enter the office without touching anything or anyone. Work in Sync's team planner automatically takes employee preference into consideration, making it easy for team managers to decide employee rotation and ensure everyone is happy with their assigned schedules. The visitor management feature also makes it incredibly easy to clear visitors in just a few clicks. Having Work in Sync is like having a personal assistant that makes work safe and flexible for everyone on the team. Get Work in Sync today.
So thank you so much for your time on that, and you would have realized that the video basically takes you through a quick journey about how what are the 3 personas that it is touching, and it is primarily addressing the employee experience of coming to work and giving a lot of flexibility and power control for them to decide where they want to sit, and also gives the team leader an access to plan his or her team's activity in the company, where you can do schedulings for them using the app itself. And you would have also noticed that the steps to taken towards sanitization of the workplace and from the safety security point of view. So basically, this solution is built on the 4 premises, which are to do with the convenience, collaboration, compliance, and the cost. So when you look at this whole thing from an employee perspective, they get a convenience to book the seats, to book the meeting rooms, to plan their agenda at work. They can collaborate with their team members, and they also move forward in terms of raising their intent for food if in case, or they want a parking. They can do all of those activities from the app itself. From the admin perspective, they will be able to see how those seats are getting utilized. So let me just pull up a deck which will possibly take you through the solution. So as introduced by Neville before, Work in Sync is a SaaS solution company, and we are we're from the company which is Move in Sync Technology. Move in Sync has been the pioneers in terms of the staff transportation in the past, and we have been using this solution in South Africa for quite some time. Some of our clients have been using us. We are catering to about 8,000 users so at this point of time in Cape Town in South Africa, and we have pivoted to a solution which is called Work in Sync, which is primarily helping companies to establish hybrid workplaces. We have also been acknowledged by Capterra. We have been rated well by G2 and Gartner, and those are some of the certificates that we have got. We are catering to almost like 54 Fortune 500 companies across 15 countries. So as I was talking about from Work in Sync point of view, we are categorically looking at 3 aspects as well, which is to do with the employee safety, to do with the team calendars, and to do with the space management. Now, when you're talking from employee safety, you're talking about employee well-being and ensuring that the seat that they're going to be seat are sanitized, and this information is being available for the employee to look at from the app itself on the seat that they're going to be booking. Team calendars basically help the company or team leaders to plan or organize their team. He can actually book their seats, or she can actually inform messages can be gone from the app itself for the employees to know that they are required to be in the office, and they can see the schedule when they are supposed to be coming in, at what shift they are supposed to be coming. And space management is basically to look at how are you utilizing your workspace. This is to do with more with the workspace manager, who can actually rationalize or optimize the workplace in the current scenario when most of the employees may be working from home or they might be coming to office. So the going is right now for hybrid workplace, and that's how companies are looking at it. And when we are talking from that aspect, what we're seeing is from employee safety, the companies are looking at that they are able to give a self-declaration, which is again happening on the app itself. If you are vaccinated, you are able to put up your vaccine status. Now, when you're talking from employee safety, you're also talking about the desk to be sanitized. So there is a interface for housekeeping team. When they're cleaning a floor, when they're cleaning a seat or a desk or a bay, they are able to upload at what time they did that and the sanitation was done. So when I as an employee is booking my seat, I'm able to see when was the last time the seat was was sanitized, and that helps me to come with more confidence and more with the feeling of safety to the office. I know that my office is a much safer place to come and work from. So that's to do with the employee safety. We're talking from a team calendar where, as I said, it is to do with more to improve the collaboration in the office, and to do is that you can team leader can look at all the employees that he has or team members he has in his team, and then he can allocate them, ask them to come on a particular day, time, which can be again in a hybrid model. You may not need guy X to come on Wednesday, or the guy X is required to come on Thursday. So you can allocate dates and days, and this is visible to the employees, so they know exactly when they're coming. So it is more of a scheduling. Now, using this, you can also do your staff transportation. So if in case the company is providing transportation, you can also plan your transportation for the employees to come to the office. So it possibly gives you enough opportunities to look at utilization of your workspace, optimization of workspace, also rostering for vehicles for them. Also, if you're providing food or food or beverages, you can stock it accordingly for the employees to utilize it, so you're not really doing a wastage. So that takes care from the cost point of view, that you are able to rationalize or optimize your workspace in a much better manner. I move to the space management. Now, if you look at, and I want you to spend a little time on this slide, because what it does is I am basically asking the companies to give us their CAD files of the workspace, and we make a digital interface for the employees to actually book their seats. So now from my home, I can actually, sitting at my home, I can use my app and go and see which seat I want to book. Where is my colleague Sean sitting? I will be able to find him on the app itself. I will be able to book my seat next to him or her, because if I have some review discussions to be done, or some activity at the office where I need more of collaboration with each other, I can have 5 or 6 of my colleagues sitting together, and I can block my seats accordingly. And this is a convenience that the app provides you, where you can have a quick look at your office space. You can go floor by floor. If you have multiple offices, you can actually go and search from a drop down that if you're at your office at a location X, you can or you're moving to location Y, you can actually do that looking from the drop down that you're getting. So this makes it more interactive. Your seats are very interactive. You are able to do your space management better, and the workspace manager is able to have a better view of how many employees are coming on a given day. We have seen from the current data that we get, that Tuesdays and Thursdays are 2 of the days when we see maximum number of employees coming to office. So they are able to plan it in a better manner to get a better output from the workspace that they have, keeping it for the employees. So that's to do with the space management. And coming to a book a desk, now, like I said in my previous slide, where you will be able to see your floor plan, you will be able to find a colleague, you will be able to view amenities on the desk. So if you need a double monitor, dual monitor on the table, you will be able to select your seat accordingly. The workspace manager can let you know as to what are the amenities around that place, and you will be able to raise your intent. You can book your for multiple days, so you're not just doing a booking for one day, but if you plan to come to office for the next all Wednesdays of a given week, you can actually do that, or you're coming for the entire week, you can actually book yourself for that. So it gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of convenience in your hand to plan things, and also a lot of convenience and transparency to the workspace manager to see how the workspace is being utilized on a given day. Team collaboration, like I said, the employees can mark themselves whether they're going to be working from home or they're working from office, and that is what they're able to do on this. And then they can plan their, if more number of employees are coming on a given day, they can have a team event or a team building exercise or a collaboration event session with the team, looking at the calendar as to how many employees are really coming to the office today. So it basically helps you in more than one way, in terms of not just seeing who all are coming, but you're also able to plan your schedule for the office as to what activity you want to do, because offices are no more just a place to come for work, but it's become we call it like it is being repurposed now, because it's becoming more of a collab space. So companies will have to look at offices from that point of view. Now, you can also, like I said earlier, team leaders can allocate desks to their teams and employees, and people can actually check who is coming in, who has not come. You can have a quick view of the available seat. The colors that you see on the screen of seats it tells you if there are team members from marketing or they are from a different process. Let's say you're working for a British Petroleum process, or you're working from a British Telecom process. You would be able to differentiate on the floor itself for the employees to see as to which division is sitting and working on that. So one of the things that has come out during this pandemic also has been a lot of emphasis has gone on, when employees are working from home, how do they collaborate with each other? So we often hear that there are digital tools that has been adopted by many companies like Slack or Microsoft Teams or G Suite. So you're using all of these solutions to collaborate with each other in more than one way, and which also works as a messaging tool. So we use NLP here. So we have been shortlisted by Microsoft, where you for their Microsoft Teams, and there is an app of working sync, so you can do all of these activities using the app itself on Microsoft Teams. So if you're used to using Teams as a collaboration tool for your company, this is something that can really help you. So you can use it on the app, you can use it on a URL, or you can use it from the Microsoft team, or if you are using Slack, then you are able to use it from Slack itself. So it integrates well with, so across platforms you're connecting, and you are able to perform better. You are able to see results better. For both people who are working from office or working from home, you are having a much better visibility in terms of how digitally you are able to manage your workspace in a better manner, and also plan your schedules for your employees. Some of our customers who have been using us of recently, we also have two of the clients that you see here, Digita and Pegasus, are the customers from Johannesburg who had adopted this solution. You will see client like ZF who has gone beyond. So they are using us in India, EMEA, both the Americas, and also in the APEC region. So there is a lot of adoption of such digital tools are going across globally, and we are happy to take this forward with our clients in South Africa, and looking forward to take this solution to you so that you will be able to maximize your productivity better. Here are some of my correspondents. You can reach out to me, you can write to me, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer to those questions at the end of this session. But that's about it. Thank you so much, Neville, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Manish. That was great. Hopefully we'll get some questions at the end, and we can check in with you then. So next up, I'd like to introduce you to Mark. I don't know, Mark, if you'd like to come on, and you can perhaps share your screen in the meantime, if that's what you're going to do. Mark is the General Manager and Business Development Head at T-Forge. Mark has over 28 years of experience in the contact center industry. He's one of the guys that started his career in the call center as an agent and has worked his way up to managing many call centers in which he was key in mentoring and developing staff. Mark has operated his own debt collection call center, so he understands the call center industry and the needs of the various role players, from agents to the different leadership levels required within this industry. Mark then joined T-Forge in 2020, and T-Forge is a South African technology company specializing in call center technology. I'll leave it up to Mark to tell us more about T-Forge. So Mark, thank you for joining us on this call. I'm going to then hand over to you, and we'll see you back in about 15 minutes time. Thanks, Mark.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Mark.
Great stuff. Can you see my screen as well, Neville?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks, Neville and BPESA for organizing this event. Manish and Charles, some really, really great tech. And as you know, I've been in the industry for 28 years, and it's great to see how things have evolved. So well done on your product offering. So welcome to all our viewers. My name is Mark Pillay, General Manager of T-Forge. T-Forge is a South African technology company that offers voice, which is a commodity for us. And then we have our voice, our cloud-based solutions and dialers. We also have just launched omni-channel solutions. We have a work-from-home solution, NetMotion Mobility, which ensures that we can build lost packets, repair lost packets, and build lost packets, which means interaction for a call center agent. When working from home or for meetings like this, you won't have that grainy picture, and the product offers just so much more. We've just launched a product called CLI Spam Protect and CLI Verify, which I'm going to take you through now. So what T-Forge has done is we've set up a subsidiary company called the Verified Company, and you'll understand when I show you a few pictures, you'll understand why. So we've got this company called the Verified Company, and we've actually integrated with Truecaller. We know that spam is a huge issue for all of us. We understand that spam is causing major issues for companies, legitimate companies, which absolutely means you dial out, you're paying a fortune on getting leads, you're doing data wash, you're doing whatever. And as owners of a company or leadership in the company, we need to connect with the end user being that person that's going to pick up the phone. However, as a result of spam, what we've seen is that these people aren't inspired to answer the phone, because we've really seen some nasty spam messages. And once a message is spammed or a number is spammed, people don't answer that, and they avoid those calls. So what we've done is we've integrated with Truecaller. We all know what Truecaller does. It's a spam tool, but we've also integrated with Hire. Now, Hire is a resident spam protect tool on Samsung phones, your higher-end Samsung phones. And what we as T-Forge, the Verified Company, we've integrated with both of these companies to provide this product for you, and we will be integrating with other spam prevention type companies as well. So if I could just take you very quickly of the impact of spam. So voice traffic skyrocketed between 2020 and 2021 as consumers preferred voice over all other channels. And that was as a result of COVID. But the industries that we saw the increase was your financial industry, which went up by 33%, insurance industry, that was by 29%, and your healthcare industry by 34%. Now, this is a global stat, and we've obtained this from Truecaller themselves. Bringing this closer to home, the impact that spam has had on businesses was that there was a 191% increase in calls, in spam calls in South Africa between April and October. In your, you say 57% of spam calls came from the financial and insurance sector, and that includes the debt collection space. But let's also just have a look at this area over here, your telemarketing space. That was 28%, okay? And there's other areas where people have actually spammed calls, and these are impacting legitimate businesses again. Now, we've seen that 94% of unknown spammed calls or unknown calls or spam calls go unanswered. the impact on your business, it's huge. If you could increase your answer rate, and that means dialing out, getting hold of the person, or dialing out and allowing that person to pick up the phone, if we can increase that by 10%, a minimum of 10%, that will have a huge impact on any business. So what we were currently doing, and the normal way around the spam protect product or preventing spam previously, was using something called random number generator, where a supplier like ourselves would give you a host of different landline numbers, and those numbers would alternate all the time. And you'd find that people would spam those numbers. So we actually ran a test with one of our clients. We realized that after giving them a new number, 2 hours after that, these numbers were spammed. Now, this is a landline number. If you can see over here, they call the big scammers. There's a report that comes up that says 286 spam reports. Now, what has happened over here? Again, a legitimate business that has been called a really nasty name. And remember, people can put whatever they want on those names. I've seen some really crazy names, but nobody's going to answer this. And we've actually seen, while they're running these campaigns, these dial-out campaigns, nobody's picking it up. And that impacts your agent who can't speak to anybody, and that's going to impact your bottom line. So what T4 has done was we've integrated with Hire and Truecaller, and we've come up with a product that's called CLI Spam Protect and CLI Verify. Now, this product is not unusual to the rest of the world. Truecaller's already got the product out. And what they were saying is that businesses across all industries that have an added identity, including company name and logo, to their outbound calls saw an answer rate increase by 47%. Now, that's a global stat, and it's important to remember that stat because I'm going to show you something different. What we've done was, as a result of integrating with Truecaller on CLI Spam Protect, we can ensure that the number that you dial from will never ever display a spam report. It will never ever show this. What we can also do is we can ensure that we don't only give you landline numbers, we can give you mobile numbers. We know for a fact that people are more prone to answer mobile numbers because they don't answer 087 numbers. They don't answer regional numbers anymore. They know it's a call center. So what we basically do is we can ensure that your answer ratios are increased significantly. You are seen as trusted, valuable, and safe. We've been talking about safe the whole morning, but let's talk about safety of your business in terms of outbound calls. Right? Zero tampering with your brand context. You take back the power of your organization, and you're inspiring the end user to answer the phone. How do we do this? We give you a range of 61 numbers, landline or mobile, and we can increase that. But let's just work on the 61 numbers. We give you 61 numbers over a 60-day period. What happens now is that we can display one number per day, and that is totally dependent on how you're running your operation. You may have different campaigns, and then we'd have to talk to you about that. But for your call center, we can display one number per day. If that number is spammed, which people can spam, like I mentioned, the spam report will never show. We park the number and we just automatically display a fresh number the next day. We then park this number through our algorithm integration with Hire and Truecaller. We see, are there any spam reports against this? We then clear that up and we recycle that number. So on day 61 or 62, you get the same number again because we've recycled it, which means nobody can mess with your brand, and we increase answer ratio as well. Now, this is typically, CLI Spam Protect is typically for a client that does not want to display a logo. So whether you're in sales or you're in debt collection, you don't want people to know that it's this particular company calling you. But what we also do is we give you a display that looks like this. We mark it as a verified company. We're saying it's a verified business because that's what you are. And we can also put a call reason in for that call. Now, that is totally dependent on what type of business you're doing. Do you want to put a call reason in or not? The next product that we do have is called CLI Verify. It does everything that CLI Spam Protect does. In terms of the algorithms in the background, preventing all the spam, it does all of that. But what we do over here is that we include a logo. We put your company name, we put a verified business in, and we put a call reason. Now, this is for a company that wants to display their logo. I'd like you to just think back very quickly where this product would potentially be a need in your business. But I just want to take it to a more global or use an example of a security company. They phone you, or let's use medical aids, right? You're waiting for an authorization from your medical aid, and you see this number come up all the time, and you don't know who it is because they're calling you from a landline, or it's potentially spam. You're not going to pick that up. You're waiting for an authorization. If that medical aid company displayed a logo and a call reason, you're going to pick that up immediately, and you're going to answer that call, and you're going to sort it out. And I think of the impact in your business about how many times you try to get hold of a client, you can't get hold of them. They come back to you and they say, you've never called me. Now you've got to pull reports and show them, listen, we did talk to you. We did try to get hold of you. You didn't pick up. So this is what this product does. But furthermore than this, a CLI Verify, what we can also do is we can ensure that this call is prioritized. We send a mail, we sit with you, we talk to you about the nature of your business, and do you want this to be a priority call? Now, the challenge with this is this number can never ever be spammed. If we give you this option and it's spammed, we take the option away. So this is for a business where it is a priority call. Let's say that medical aid, let's say it's a claims area or an insurance company, something of that nature, or a client of yours that you need to get hold of, that you have a relationship with. What we do is we display it as purple and we put in priority call. So this basically the product. I just want to quickly take you through a video that we have. So we ran a case study in a debt collection space, and we are going to run a case study in the BPO space as well. But we ran a case study with a client who used this, and you actually saw his answer rates increase and right party contact increase. So, Neville, can you see my video or my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, please let me know if I did click on sound. Just I hope it does play. Can you hear?
I'm a director at R&I Attorneys and the executive sponsor for IDA on this case study with GForge. We used the same agent sample group of about 100 agents, and we worked on the same campaigns and the same campaign strategies during the term of the case study. I'm absolutely blown away by the results and the impact CLI Spam Protect has in our business. I saw RPC ratios doubling on some days, which I've never seen in years, and thought that this would never be seen again. This massive jump in RPC ratios obviously has a staggering impact on actual PTPs. When we switched to using CLI Spam Protect and the mobile CLI numbers, we clearly saw that RPC ratios went up even more. IDA has already signed with GForge to use CLI Spam Protect in our entire call center. If these results persist, this will be an absolute game changer for our business. Well done, Team GForge. You guys have actually solved an unsolvable and very worrisome problem. Well, in the minds of the collection industry at least.
If you do notice, the global figure that was shown by Truecaller was 47%. We've increased this company's answer rate and RPC by 67%. Very quickly, I just want to show you a different screen. Okay, Neville, can you see my screen, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so typically, if we had to run a test on Truecaller or higher and look at what the display is on your cell phone. So we've ran a test for a few of our clients, and on the iPhone, this is what it looks like. So it says Truecaller ID, spam, pre-crap scam. Nobody's going to answer that. On your higher display, and remember, that's the Samsung phone, suspected spam. Or I took a screenshot on my phone. Now, the thing about the Samsung phone is that on my Samsung phone, I just activated the spam filter. I've never really gone and spammed any number, but someone else potentially goes and spam a number. And on my phone, this is what it displayed. It says incoming spam, moved to spam and blocked. Now the phone, it came to my phone, but my phone never ever rang. Now, how many times do you find that call center agent say, I'm trying to get hold of the person and they just never ever pick up? So with Hire, because it's on a device, if I spam the phone on my spam a call on my side, potentially whoever else has a Hire phone with the spam protect on, it won't even ring. So this is the display on these Hire and Samsung Hire and iPhone. Now, using the CLI Spam Protect, this is what the display looks like. If you can see, we display a mobile number. We say Truecaller. It's an incoming call, a verified company, a verified business. And in this case, it was a debt collection company, and they were working on a particular type of client, an urgent legal matter. And that increased their answer ratio by leaps and bounds. On your iPhones, this is what the display is. Truecaller, verified company. And we can also put the call reason in there. On your Hire, verified company, Hire caller ID, and we can also put the call reason in there. Now, using CLI Verify, and remember, this is where you want to display your logo. When we dial you, this is what you will see. So we put your company logo in T-Forge, and it's rated as services. And this is another company that our sister company, and we've done that for them as well. So thank you. Any questions?
No, that was great. Thank you, Mark. It's just amazing to see how important these little things are that we probably don't all think about, but very critical to the industry overall. I think we've got about 4 minutes left, and I do have a couple of questions that I want to just put out there. So I just want to ask Charles, that was very interesting on the headsets, but given the fact that headsets do break and need to be repaired, what is the time to repair? What does that cycle basically look like to get those headsets repaired?
So what we've done is we've gone to our clients and we say that we guarantee 100% repair rate for the full 4-year warranty. So that's kind of very innovative in itself. Normally you get a box, they're broken headsets, you send them back to the headset supplier. They normally go, I've got to throw away half of them and we can repair half of them. So what we do is because the factory's here, we based in South Africa, we've got every part, every widget, we guarantee to repair everything. So you can drive over to the steamroller, send us all the parts. If it's in that 4-year period, we'll repair it. And we've got a 24-hour turnaround on repairs guaranteed from when it lands at the factory door. Obviously, there's some courier and freight if you're out of town. But yes, everything can get repaired, and it gets done in 24 hours.
Oh, that's really good.
It's pretty good.
Manish, I've got something here for you that basically, if you look at that overall solution, it does look like it's integral to every part of the business. But how long would it take to implement the solution that you actually showed us today?
Thank you for that question. In fact, the interesting part is it's a cloud-based solution. So we host it on AWS, and that's how we've been running in South Africa as well. And for us the major part is to create that infrastructure, which is to do with setting up a single tenant server for the company and putting up the data as well. And by the way, we are a POPI law compliant company as well. So putting up the data there, and then getting the CAD files of the floor and creating a digital version of it. So if I have to look at the time span of this entire activity, which requires both sides collaboration, as in from our side and from the client side, it will take anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks for us to do complete end-to-end of the solutioning, including the training part for the admin and informing, doing some kind of a communication for the employees for them to download the app or use it. So it takes anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks time for us to do complete end to end. So we'll be able to do the handover of the implementation to the team.
Mark, one for you. If Truecaller is available, I mean, it's a product that's available to anyone. What is the difference in an organization making use of Truecaller or working with T-Forge to integrate these solutions the way you have?
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so when you do go to Truecaller, they will only be able to provide you with the CLI verified product, which means your number can still be spammed. And dealing with T-Forge, because we have integration with Hire and Truecaller, we give you a complete end-to-end product. We can ensure that we offer you both. And we can ensure that your numbers, even if it is spammed, because of the display and the algorithms, that your company is protected and safe.
Okay. All right. So there's real value in using T-Forge and making sure that you deliver this end-to-end service.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, well, with that, I think we're out of time. And I'd like to just thank the three companies that have presented today. Charles, Manish, Mark, thank you so much for your participation in this call. For those of you that are on the call or are looking at the recording, there are a number of these sessions that are still going to take place during the course of March, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. So please reach out to me if you'd like to participate. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone and wish you a good day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Have a great day.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.